Yo, so another replay review today. This one's for Sandelz, and this is a 2v2 replay, and they're about Champ 2, Champ 3. They reached out to me. They've also mentioned here that they're on ultra wide, and that will become apparent quite quickly that it's going to be a bit stretched and weird, but it's fine. So yeah, let's get into it. In fact, their ranks there, look. Champ 3, does that mean Div 2? I think it does. And I think they're partied up. I can't quite see properly, but I think the other player in here is lonely, so I think they're partied up in voice comms as well, which might make might sort of play into it a little bit, some of the decisions. So this is okay. It's a good challenge. I would always be a little bit careful. So because you've kind of rushed it from side on, this player can see you right now. If you can see their car, they can see you. So this challenge is super obvious. That's why they're trying to flick it. They just didn't quite have the control. Now obviously, the higher up ranks you go, the more likely you are to get flicked. You're just gonna not, they're just gonna flick it around you because they're gonna have better control. Yeah, if they flick now, it's just over you every time. So it's just a bit careful. If you come from the side, they're gonna see you. They can still see you. They're gonna know you're rushing it. So just be a bit careful with that. It's worked out okay here. Okay. Just before this, you've backed off really far here. So it's not necessarily good or bad, but so you know your teammate's in front, but there's no real need to rush back to the goal and sit in the goal. If you want to go back, you definitely want to grab some pads. So you grab the pad that was there. I'd probably grab this pad, this one, and then rotate around a bit as your teammate comes for the challenge. And then you're kind of still here. You're still in the same position, but you just have a bit more boost. But even then, I don't know if it was even worth coming all the way back. Again, it might be the ultra wide that looks a bit funny, but you know your teammate's probably going to challenge and help you first because they're still in front. So you kind of need to be in a position that when your teammate makes the challenge, you are then ready to follow up. Excuse me. So if they challenge right now, are you close enough to be ready to collect the ball if it bounces straight off the ceiling or bounces straight off the wall? You're not, you're too far away. So it's one of those, like, it comes over time, but you have to kind of stay, the way I like to think of it is you have to sort of stay relevant to the play. Be ready for anything. Backing off this far, you're not always ready. Okay, and we'll go over this corner. So this start to turn this way is fine, because you know it's going to the corner. Your teammate's challenging from the left. They're going from the left to the right. The ball is gonna go right somewhere. So it's fine that you're ready for it. I'd just say, like, when this ball has insane speed like this into the corner, there's not really much point going after it, because all that's going to happen is you're just going to be chasing after the ball. And that's basically what you've done. You've just chased after the ball, then you've rushed it to try and block the shot that you didn't know was there or not because you're trying to get to the ball. If it's slower, then you can go. It's one of those situational type things that I can't, I'm not going to go over every scenario, but I would probably say in general, if it's a bit slower, then you can kind of go for it. But I would always just kind of wait a second just to see what happens first, because I mean, you actually kept boosting into the corner here. If you look, that little boost you did there, you're boosting into the corner when the ball's going to bounce out anyway, so you're kind of just chasing after the ball. And you've preemptively jumped in case they were going to shoot, but they read that because they saw you because you were early. So it's just not really needed. You can kind of just wait. Generally, the ball in your corner is safe. I know it's bouncing out, but even here, you can just grab the pad, turn, and be ready for the shot, or just block this. I would just wait. It's not worth chasing. I mean, even the best case scenario, even if you get there and hit the ball, you're going to run out of boost, or you're going to 50 with this player. It's just, you're not going to gain much out of it. That's annoying. I'll wait for this phone to stop ringing. Sorry about this. Just skip ahead 5 seconds or something. It's always these scam calls. I've moved back in with my parents, and they get these phone calls like all the time. Right, stop now. Okay, so yeah, carrying from it. So yeah, basically you've given them a free 1v1. Your teammate might get air dribble bumped or just scored on there. You've kind of left them alone. It's okay. I'll go back a bit here. So the idea is great. However, you already have 43 boost, so you don't really need the 100. I get, obviously, you know, the best case scenario is ball and boost, but you have to prioritize the ball, right? And even 40 boost with the ball, you should be able to dribble and flick the ball on the goal. It should be fine. The trouble is because you've tried to get a touch that you can also get the boost, and then you've banged it away, and then you've panicked and you've jumped after it. Yeah, you just got to prioritize the ball. It's kind of okay. I think you kind of jump. So just a little thing. So if we go exactly when you jump, so you've got momentum. So before you jump, your momentum's coming this way, and you're facing this direction, right? That's an awful arrow. Just do this, right? Terrible again. There we go. You're facing this direction, but the ball's obviously over here. So when you fly, you're going to have to curl around and get back to the ball. If you just turn straight to the ball before you jump, it's just more efficient. It's just faster, and you'll use less boost, and it's easier. So you always want to turn and face the ball before you jump, if you can. Sometimes you don't have time to, but in general, that's what you want to do. Because it makes your aerial, see, you ping across, then you have to turn, you're boosting back this way now. Great fake challenge. Perfect. I think I mentioned this in a previous video as well, so just go back slightly, just because this was really good. So the difference here, so the good thing here is that you've blocked it so that they can't see you. So I think, like I said a second ago, where you did that challenge and you could see them, the difference here is like you can't see their car, so they can't see you. So you've done a perfect little fake challenge. They don't know if you're challenging. That's forced them to get that touch, which hits it away from them. And the side flip into the 50 is just, you're never going to lose that 50, so that's just good defending there. It's really good. Kind of driving around in the middle of nowhere a little bit here. That's okay, nothing's happening. Let's just have a little look. Yeah, I wouldn't really have. I don't know. This is a scenario that crops up a little bit where everyone knows this was a bad touch, right? You know it. That's why you kind of stop. They know it. So basically, if you know it's bad, they know it's bad as well. So that's why they've jumped for this. The problem here is you have to make sure you keep an eye on both players, right? So this happens a lot. So like I say, if you know it, they know it. So they are also going to try and cover their teammate's mistake because they know that you know it. It's a bit of it's a crazy little mind game, right? But they are probably going to help their teammate So you need to make sure you keep an eye on both players. If the ball is like a kind of bad touch or it's falling down, you know that they're not going to keep up with it. You have to quickly look at the other player and make sure that they're not going. And if they are, then you need to play around that a bit as well. Because, I mean, the Twitch player still gets the touch because they know it's bad and they've panicked it. But if that other player gets the ball, that booms straight over you in this scenario. Not to say it's going to be a goal, but, you know, it's not ideal. Boost steal's fine. Okay. Obviously it's fine, you've scored. I would just say you have, I don't mind going up the wall, but it's a bit slower. So you had time if you wanted. You know, you could just drive around, chip the ball up towards the goal and make a flick or dribble play. But I would say if you are going to do this play off the wall, you should get in the habit of jumping, just single jump and just hit the middle of the ball somewhere, like in this sort of square. That stops the ball getting chipped. So see how that chips just here? Because a bouncing ball when it hits the wall is a bit more unpredictable. And that's why it bounces away from the wall a bit. Whereas if you roll it, it's more consistent. And it's probably something that you practice more in free play or in like air dribble packs where the ball's rolling up the wall instead. And that makes it a bit easier. So instead, see how you've realised it, so you've had to jump off and just hit the ball away. But, you know, if this player didn't flip away, it's just an easy save. So it's actually not the most threatening shot. You've scored, so, you know, it can't be bad. But yeah, if you just jump into that ball when it's on the floor, it will roll it up and it's just a bit more of a consistent setup for you. So I'm going to skip, I have watched this once already. So I'm just going to skip past the replay because it plays music and stuff. I think this was R2D2 though, but we'll skip it anyway. Cool. This flip's fine. Okay, so if we can go over this a little bit. This is good. This flip over and turn here is like pretty much perfect. But I'd say here, so you have to sort of be a bit careful. So once you get to this position, you're kind of in the right position. As soon as you start turning away, you're kind of in the wrong position again. So the first thing you need to see is that obviously you can see this player is massively off to the side. So there's basically two things that's going to happen in this scenario. One, they just keep wiggling. They sort of wiggle about and the ball keeps rolling this way and they're basically just going to fake. Or the other option is they cut into the ball and hit the ball this way. So I think what you did originally, where you kind of do a quick wiggle this way, is actually quite good. That little wiggle was quite good because it's forced them to now go this way because they don't want you to challenge. However, again here, you kind of overcommit and fully send it on this challenge going this way. So you have to be careful that you basically don't have to rush it. You can kind of, you're in the right position basically, is what I'm trying to say. Even here, you're kind of in the right position. You don't have to rush. Like, if you just stay here, if they flick right now, you just jump and you'll save it. But they're also, you can see that they're going around this side of the ball. And again, it plays to the exact same thing again. They're either going to fake it and keep going this way, or they might try and cut around. In this scenario, there's a third option because the ball is on top of their car almost, that they could just shoot. But in all of those scenarios, you don't really want to commit your car to any direction. If they didn't flick, they actually got past you, then they just flicked it wide. If they didn't panic, it's just a goal. There's nothing wrong with just, you kind of, it's hard to, I'm trying to give a more general advice obviously, but there isn't, there's nothing too wrong with waiting and slowing down a little bit when they don't have full control. So just want to get pause in the right. So when the ball's on the floor, they don't have full control basically. Like I say, they only have the two options. They either let it roll or they chip it to the side. And it's going to happen where they chip it and quickly chip it the other way because they know that might throw you off, which it did. So you have to try to think about what might happen, and you don't want to fully commit to anything when you're shadowing. Like you have to sort of realize you're already in a bad position, so you have to try and make the most of what the position that you're in. And it's fine to just kind of wait around and let them come to you a bit more. Don't commit to something. They often want you to make a move, then they play off that move, and that's what they did. They waited for you to turn a bit, then they cut, and they've sent you the wrong way. So you just have to be a bit careful, and like I say, again, it comes with practice. If you play lots of 1v1, you'll start to develop a sort of a feel for how to play it a bit more. Good challenge. I mean, they've kind of just missed. You might have dunked them. It's fine. It's one of those funny, unlucky moments. That was close. I'd be very careful going for these. So the trouble is, you've jumped here. The trouble is in these funny situations is you don't know if the ball's going to hit the crossbar again. You don't know if these players are going to hit the ball before you. And you're 1-0 up, right? So you're already winning. You don't actually have to score. There's no real need to fully, like your teammate's in the goal with 0. You're last. There's no need to just fully send it and hope for the best. Because there's no guarantee that you're going to score. You don't know if it's going to hit the crossbar. You don't fully know what's happening. And actually, if you waited, they might have all missed and you could have just scored it anyway. But you know, you're fully committed, and now your teammate's left alone with 0 boost. It's just not worth the risk, basically. Unless you know you're getting it, or you know it's going to be good. There's nothing wrong with just driving forward a bit. There's maybe a fake, or just don't go. If you're 1-0 down and there's 3 seconds left, then you've just got to go. But you know, you're winning. There's no need to panic. That could have been an own goal. That was a bit scary. This is good. Except we rushed it a little bit. Just go back. I mean, even this touch is okay, because you did have time to get back under the ball, but all you have to do, I mean, look here. This is the perfect time to pause it. Look how far away they are. They're in the opposite corner. So you don't even need to rush this touch. Like this, you could just slow down. Right now, slow down. Let it bounce. Get control. You know, you've just fully rushed it. And now your teammates rushed this as well, which is a bit crazy. And you rush that as well. Just watch this again. That as a fake has worked almost perfectly. But then, again, just a quick look. They're not challenging. They're not challenging. They're nowhere near. And you've just kind of given it away. That's worked out perfectly, though. We'll skip that. Don't want to get copyrighted. It's worked out, but it doesn't mean it was the best thing to do. So just be careful of rushing the play. If just take a second, just see where the opponents are. Do you need to rush it? No. You have time. You should take time. Positioning's okay. Nice. Again, I'm going to say you rushed it again. So, I've gone back a bit too far here, but we'll watch it anyway. So, you get bumped, it's a bit awkward, your teammate hits the ball, and you've jumped instantly, right? These players are rotating back. If you just, even if you waited a split second, you would have seen Twitch players start flipping back, and you could have just driven along the floor, got a bit closer, and you'd have had a much better, easier aerial. The trouble is you've kind of just jumped instantly. The only thing you can do is just hit the ball, and by now this player has picked up the boost. They've been able to cover the goal. It basically just doesn't really do much. Now you're stuck upfield, 0 boost. There's nothing, again, it's just one of those, just take a second, just have a quick look what's going on, then we can make a decision. Go over that as well. It's not the end of the world, to be fair, but the trouble is you're on 0, that boost wasn't there. You've just got to grab a pad or 2 here. You might even have time to get the corner boost, to be honest, and then get the ball. Depends, but you have to grab a boost pad or 2 here. And normally if I get in this sort of situation, I try and hit the ball and flip and just get the ball to the corner and get the boost. It kind of just gives the ball away. You know, they're a bit awkward, but Crocs probably should be the one going for this. And if they were a bit closer, it's just a free ball and they just have the ball because you kind of just gave it away. You get a good block, to be fair. It's kind of okay. I think you maybe backed off a little bit too far. Again, there's no crazy threat, right? As soon as you see that they're not going up, you can kind of slow down a bit. You don't have to turn. You can just slow down, just to keep the space closed down a little bit. But you kind of fake challenge him, which is fine. It's a good beat. Alright, we're panicking here. Again, there's no need to rush. There's no need to rush. Right? Just land. Just let yourself land and then drive on. Right? All these flips, you actually ended up flipping away from the play. You're just slowing yourself down a lot. You don't need to rush. Just let yourself land, drive up. You'd already be by the halfway line at this point, and you'd still have your 53 boost. See now the problem there was that you're a bit too far away from this. Yeah, it's unlucky. It's just a communication thing, I think. Your teammate needs to tell you that they're going for it. You've jumped at the exact same time. Your teammate needs to tell you that they're going. I don't know if they do or not. And then you need to back off because they are actually in front of you. So if they decide to go, they're going to get the ball first. Yeah. Oh, and we'll skip that again. Got a flip on kickoffs. Need to start doing that. It's fine. Gone very wide again. Again, I don't know if this is the ultra wide or not, but you look like you're driving very far away. You know, you can just stare. Your teammate's got the ball. You can just sort of stay a bit closer. Nothing wrong. There's no need to back off because, you know, they're not getting challenged right now. You don't need to back off straight away. Oh, yeah, I think you've jumped way too early here, but I was going to say again, you've kind of, as it gets to this part here, you backed off really far again. You don't need to, right? Just stay a bit closer. Like, what realistically, what are they going to do? If they boom the ball, you've got 100 boost. So if they boom the ball, you can just turn around, boost, flip, you can get back, easily get back every single time. If they were to catch this and dribble it, you've already turned away, and that immediately gives them a free section of the pitch that they can. If they catch this, they're going to get to like here for free before you can even challenge. You're just giving them the ball basically. So you just get a bit closer. Like I say, there's no threat. They're not going to score that. They can't score from there. I mean, it's actually they backed off because they saw you not going, and this other player just hits the ball. And then again, I think here you've just panicked a bit and jumped way too early. And you knew it because you stopped boosting instantly. So yeah, no need to jump here. You just wait a second, see what happens. Boost steal's fine. Yeah, that is a crazy shot. That is close. I mean, if you score that, that's just insane. I wouldn't even go for this shot, to be honest. I would just try and demo this player. Whenever I hit the ball into the corner, I just go for a demo, and then it's a free shot for the teammate. Yeah, that's the kind of play I go for, but if you can score that, then go for it, but I was unlucky. Nice dodge. Yeah, I like this challenge. Nice. Your teammate went as well, but it's okay. We're rushing it a little bit again. Yeah, we'll just watch some of this again. So like here, if you don't insta flip again, you don't need to. You don't need to rush it. You can just, as soon as your camera swings around. So your camera's going to swing around with the ball. Yep, there. Just look, see where the players are. If there's a player near the ball, then yeah, do exactly what you've done. Just jump, get a 50. But again, you can just wait a second. Let the ball come down, chip it, try and get around them, make a play. You got to try and do something with the ball. This just gives the ball away. You end up getting this 50, which is a bit, you kind of just landed on it. It's a bit messy and unlucky, but yeah, it kind of all came because you just sort of rushed it out the corner. I'll skip that again. If you're in comms and you always tell each other to do the corner kickoffs, then this is totally fine. If you don't talk about it, then going for the corner boost is always risky. Especially if something like that happens. If that's a bit more powerful, it's just a goal, right? So if you do the corner kickoffs where you purposely lose the corners, then it's fine, like I say. But otherwise I would cheat up because it's just usually a lot safer. Yeah, so this is again what I'm saying, like I would just go for demo. So this touch, you can't really do anything about this. This touch is just going to be, unless you're right on the edge, but you might just get challenged. This touch is fine, whatever. Just here, demos. Like you can't really do much with this ball because it's in their corner, right? But if you just imagine you just get demo both of them. I get this all the time where I just demo both. Excuse me. It's usually quite easy to demo the first one, and then the second one tends to go into the goal, but you can kind of bump them or slow down and bump them out of the way. Or it's a good boost steal. Bit dodgy. Just something else to be a little bit aware of. Um, so you slam on the brakes before you jump, which just kills all of your momentum before you jump. See that? You slam on the brakes and then jump, and it just means you have to use more boost, and it makes you slower, so it's just something to be a bit careful of. Especially in the higher ranks, you can't really afford to do that, because you just get beat to the ball. And yeah, nice. Perfect. So yeah, I think for you, I would work on, obviously keep the mechanics training and stuff going. Everyone can always improve on those. There's a few moments where you kind of, on dribbling and things, where you're a little bit sort of lose control a little bit. So dribbling training's probably quite good. But the main one is just to try to not rush the play. I think that's the main thing you can do. You need to be, especially as you push into Grand Champ, you can't keep giving the ball away, basically. Because, again, as you get higher and higher, people are just going to wait for you to give the ball away, hit it round you, then it's a 1 versus 2, and you're just in a bad spot. So you've definitely got to try to keep an eye on the other team. Make sure you don't give the ball away. Try not to, what am I trying to say here? You just need to take control. Keep control, keep possession, and that'll be really good. I think that's probably the main thing, to be honest. I mean, a lot of it was pretty good. And I think, yeah, that was it. The other thing was you sort of sit quite far back. Like, don't be afraid to stay a little bit closer. Like I said, try to stay relevant to the play. Like, if you're too far away, you're going to end up in a lot of 1v1 situations where the other team's just dribbling the ball straight at you, at your goal, and you're just having to try to defend. Like that one moment that I spent a bit of time on where they did the little crisscross dribble against you, and they should have scored. I can't find it now, but you know the bit I mean. So yeah, just try to stay a bit closer, try to keep control, and I think those are the main things you want to work on. So yeah, hopefully you found this helpful, and yeah, if anyone else wants a replay done, just leave a comment or message me on Reddit or somewhere, and I'll happily do your replay as well. Cool. See you later.